Sniper 4, confirm clear to sight. Okay. Sniper 1, civil target is Sniper 4, Bravo, 65. 20 low. Everyone.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition. Hello, Kelly. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So we got Mary in here. Hello, Mary. Dow. Nice to see you there. Scott. Nice to see you, Scott. Chris. Nice to have everybody. So welcome. So how have you been, Kelly?
Good. I thought we'd talk about dream interpretation and past lives.
Oh, absolutely. Sounds good. Everybody always wants to know about their dreams, what they mean.
Yeah, so I told everybody, put it in the comments and we'll decode them. You know.
Right, absolutely. So a lot of people don't understand what they dream of and why. But I think the dreams that you have can have some simply meanings to them and information.
Absolutely. It helps you work out the problems of the day.
Right. Yeah, it really does. And also can give you insight into the future as well.
Correct. You can have prophetic dreams, and then you can also have what's called lucid dreaming, where you get up and you can go back to sleep and go right back to where you were in your dream.
Right. Absolutely. Mary's over here laughing. I'm sorry.
Lucid dreaming.
Right. So what can they actually tell you, and what do you look for?
Well, they can tell you if you're sick. They can tell you if you have a problem that you need to deal with. You know, like a lot of times if you have a dream you got a monster chasing you, well, it's something that you're not dealing with. You know, it's like, hello, forgot about me, got to deal with me now. No.
Right.
Not really a monster.
Right. Well, you're right. It's not like having a baby, right?
Right. Now,
I know you said on some shows that having a baby means
having a baby, but sometimes a baby can mean a project, or starting a business. That can be your baby. You know, it's a new beginning. It can be a new start. You know, sometimes when you dream, whatever part of the house, like when you dream you're in a house, whether it's a house you remember or not, that's what you're dealing with. Like if it's in the living room, it's where you live. If it's in the attic, it's subconscious and spiritual. If it's in the basement, it's something that you buried. If it's in the bathroom, it's something you need to get rid of. Literally.
right. Chris says, I dreamt this morning that I was in a car with an acquaintance. We were driving around a mountain bend and a blue truck cut straight in front of us out of nowhere and swerved to barely miss a wreck.
Well, that can be prophetic, or it can mean that you're going to change your course and avoid problems.
And Dowdell says, Kelly, I'm dreaming I'm spitting out my teeth. Does that mean she has poor dental hygiene?
It can, but it also can. I always think teeth, I don't know why, is relationships. So
Right.
she's working on her relationships.
Scott says he's been having some crazy dreams. What have you been eating before you go to bed, Scott?
Really, pizza dreams.
Right? Isn't that the truth? But when you talk about people and their dreams, how do you explain to them? Because they may think one concept, but it may be something else.
Right. It's like say you're totally afraid of the dark, but it isn't really the dark. It's something that you need to put light on that you're unsure about. But it might be to them it's a total fear of the dark and not knowing where they're going. So
And Chris is asking you too, can it be wisdom or knowledge?
Yes, it can. Absolutely.
I would have not gotten a relationship out of teeth. Anytime somebody says teeth, I think about Dennis the Menace with the chiclets.
Yeah, really. You're right.
But yeah. What other things that people dream about that they don't know subconsciously?
Like if you dream of a casket, it doesn't necessarily mean death. It can mean putting something to rest, a problem to rest. It doesn't mean death.
Interesting.
You can dream a myriad of things, like when you're floating, when you dream that you're floating, what you're doing is you're astraling out of your body. Or that when you're flying, that means you're astral traveling.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And when you dream you're falling and you hit your body, you're entering your body again.
Oh, yeah. When you
kick. Like when you jar yourself.
Right.
And sometimes you wake up with a crick neck because you entered your body wrong.
Well, that makes sense. That's probably why I got a bad neck then.
But, things mean different things to different people, like sometimes, like if you dream of a spider, it depends on what culture you're from and everything. Some people are scared to death of it. But if you think of the Native Americans, it's something good is getting ready to come into your realm of reality.
Really?
And isn't that a neat way? And then
Yeah,
snakes, it can mean snake in the grass or not to trust somebody. Be careful, somebody's a snake, actually. Watch out. Or like if you dream of a parrot, that means gossip because things are being talked about.
Chris is asking Kelly, can falling also be things like falling into place?
Absolutely. It isn't what I think, it's what you think. Like the Indians also believe dreaming of blackness is going into the void and it transpires into a new beginning.
Oh, it's true.
So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, a lot of my dreams are very vivid and weird and strange. I can tell you that much.
Well, it also can be if you take a lot of medicine, and also, if you're in pain or something, you can have nightmares.
Right. Virgil says, Kelly, I got those flying dreams when I was younger, not now. Beautiful lady.
Yep, but you'll probably have them and you don't remember. Sometimes people go to sleep and they don't remember what they dream. Put a glass of water by your bed, but if you got a cat, don't do that because they'll break the glass. But it helps direct you.
In it.
Yeah, or they're drinking it or tipping it over.
Scott says, Kelly, I dreamed I had a party having lots of fun, and it turns to a haunted house. An ugly lady says she's going to get me. Then I wake up.
Oh,
That tells me you're being mean to your wife.
I don't know. Like that can be like regrets. And it might be just you ate something and you had like a weird, frightening dream.
Kelly, Chris says, well, I didn't think you're supposed to have water by the bag because it can open up a portal. I never heard that.
I never heard of that either.
Have you ever heard that? Keep water by the bed, you can open up a portal.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, Mary has.
Oh,
I never heard that.
yeah, I never thought of it like that. I don't.
Yeah, it can also absorb negative energy and all kinds of stuff. So it
Huh,
depends
that's
on the
interesting.
intentions that you put in on it.
Well, then bless your water before you go to bed.
Right?
I never had it.
Dow says, I have water every night, Chris and Kelly.
So there you go.
I never thought of that. I have to look
Yeah.
that one up.
Yeah, so just bless it then, you know.
Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you get holy water from me, you cannot consume it.
No,
I had
don't.
somebody do that once, and they called me up like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and her husband was sicker than a dog. And she didn't know what was wrong. And I said, what'd you do? She said, I put holy water in his drink. And I was like, oh, you got to remember it's got chlorine in it.
Yeah.
So, Mary says, Kelly, I had a dream the other day, and Grizz and I were out in the forest walking up a path, and a female Bigfoot was laying on the ground by a tree. She was in labor and struggling.
You're really going to run into that.
Oh, Lord.
And then, but also seeing a baby be born, you're going to start a new project. So that's a new project for you guys.
Yeah, we're trying to work on some stuff. Towards the end of this year, beginning next year, we can go traveling on the road full time. So then Mary says, Kelly, then we're helping her with her labor, and a male Bigfoot come through a portal.
Well, there you go. You're going to get to meet a whole Bigfoot family.
Shut the front door.
No, I'm serious.
Just what I need. I'll probably have a heart attack.
I think it'd be cool. I hope
That's
we
you
get it.
go and probably play patty cake with it.
So I keep telling him, I keep having all these weird dreams about meeting them and stuff. It's weird.
No, you're gonna.
I think we are. That's what I keep telling him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something else. I tell you, I don't know. So let me ask you this as a question. And this is brought up several times, Kelly.
Okay.
When you are, how can I say this without making the whole world upset? If you're out in the woods and you hear a chain being dragged, what would that be an indication of?
Well, something that's tethered and something that's, it can be a bad spirit that's stuck,
Yeah.
a negative entity.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is that I've been introducing Mary to a lot of Bigfoot shows on TV. And as well as anybody that is aware and an investigator or researcher in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Natanika or whatever you call it, Port Lock of Alaska, a lot of people will hear a chain being dragged in the woods, a heavy chain, like a log chain.
Oh,
So, and Mary and I both converse on this, and we both think what you think. It's an evil entity, an evil spirit.
right. That's
Because
what
in hell, they're bounded by chains and stuff. So,
right. I don't think it's a Bigfoot. It's a bad entity.
wow. Interesting. Anybody listening have any comments for that? Drop them in the comment section. I always review them during and after the show. I just like to know everybody else's input. Very interesting. So what happens if you keep having vivid dreams about a car wreck? Is that trying to tell you to be careful or something?
Yes, be careful. Notice the time in the dream. Notice where it is, what it is, and don't take that road that day. Because that's a warning. That's a prophetic dream.
Good evening, Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. Welcome.
Hello.
Living Purpose. Mary says we had to place our hands in the tree and on her head on the Bigfoot to help her to recharge her. Talking about the one going in labor.
Oh yeah, took a lot of energy.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at. I need to get a voltmeter and show people about the energy coming off trees and also being grounded.
Oh, totally.
Really makes a difference.
You want to ground yourself, hug a tree, but watch out for ants.
Reminds me of an old joke I can't tell.
No, don't tell that joke.
There's me check for bees. Anyway, I got something for the show. Chris says, Kelly, I didn't know where the dream was happening, but it was like taking the warning, nevertheless. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when you dream about loved ones, are those actual dreams, or can they be actually coming to you in your dream state?
Absolutely. They're absolutely visiting you. Your passed on loved ones. Because there's a spiritual garden and a spiritual restaurant that you can meet your loved ones in.
Oh, interesting. Well, if you remember, go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
If you remember, we have a lot of people in the past would talk about they would hear their dog or cat running up and down the hallway, remember?
Yep, absolutely.
Or they'll be laying on the bed and they feel the dog or cat jump on the bed.
Yep, and your spirit animals can do that are in spirit. They come visit. They go in and out of the void. And then they teach, if you get a puppy, they teach the other ones how to do it.
That's pretty wild. It really is. Does anybody else have any other dreams you want to share? And maybe Kelly can talk about it for a minute. And if you're watching the show later, put them in the comments. I can still send them to Kelly and let her know.
Yep. You know, and another thing is past lives. A lot of times you'll dream about past lives in dreams. You know, addresses, names, faces, families. And it's like, have you ever met somebody in instantaneous like them?
Yes.
You know, that's like a tribe, or like, you know, that from another lifetime.
Right.
You know, or visited a place, gone on vacation, and knew exactly where everything was. That's because you've been there before in another lifetime.
Hey, Kim, welcome to the show. Kim Princess, nice to have you. Well, you know, look at that and how many people have remembered flying an airplane, fighter jet, and being shot down.
Yep.
Or been in a war or something like that, you know, existed over 100 years ago or longer.
And they had no way of knowing. You know what I mean? Look at little kids that remember stuff. How do they know that? They can't. They have to have lived it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's very strange is that they are giving locations, accurate names of buildings, planes, people that lived back then. So, yeah, I mean, reincarnation, I know, depends on your religion. You're not supposed to believe in it, but it does happen.
Well, how can we believe? I mean, you can believe what you want to believe, but how can you not believe that we've been here before? You know what I mean? Right. It's too, you know, intense. You know what I mean?
Hello, Maria. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you. I know it's early in the morning back over there in Norway. So, but no, I totally agree with that. It's not coincidental when everybody around the world has cases of them remembering things, living in a different lifetime, a different era. So, yeah, absolutely.
And even in a different part of the country than where they're from.
Right.
Yeah.
Maria says, Kelly, Did the nurse I was at use an unclean needle when I was taking a blood sample? She was very young, seemed very unsure. While
No,
the needle was inside me, she pushed it with her finger.
no, she's all right.
So sometimes I have to work that needle in a vein because it's actually not a metal needle going in your vein. There's something else inside the needle that comes out. That's why they're butterflies.
Yep.
So, but yeah. But they actually had a show years back about past lives, about kids telling their story. There's been a lot of people that claim that they were killed in the Twin Towers during 9/11 that were children. Very informational, very interesting.
Yes.
Because
You
they
know,
knew the structure and everything. Like, how would they know that?
they wouldn't. Yeah, they had to have been here before. And some of them reincarnated really quickly. You know, and sometimes you don't reincarnate right quick. You rest. It's your choice. It's the soul's choice.
Now, how do you determine people's past lives?
You like when you're doing a reading or when they
Right.
ask you about it? Yeah, you can see it. You can feel it. You know, and the people, they'll ask you about, well, I have a dream or a memory of this, and this, and it was during this era, and I was married and I had kids, and yeah. And
Chris says, go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry.
It's a past life because of that.
Chris says, Kelly, did I hear someone say hello at work, even though I didn't see anyone? Then I did hear beeps the other morning at home without any obvious sources. What are your thoughts?
I think that you have a male spirit at work that says hello, and then the beeps in your house there's an anniversary. Is your mom? It's a mother figure that's around you that was trying to get your attention, and it's an anniversary of somebody. So look for that. That's what I'm seeing. A male at work and a female at home. And that's either
like they're surrounded by her. Does she have abilities?
Yes, totally.
Crafty, welcome to the show. Says, can you tell me anything about my past life and maybe how many they had?
Well, she had many, and 1800s, like 1838, that era, and it looked like in England. So that's what I'm seeing for her that's coming up. She was female. She likes the female body.
And Chris says, yes, Kelly, my mom passed away on June 25th.
Well, that's all the dinging and the beeping and the blooping and she's letting you know she's around. All the electronicals.
You want to see what happens when Mary gets flustered. Nothing works. Electronics.
Oh, I blow stuff up.
Same here.
Yeah, it's awful.
I think I killed my navigation in my car. I don't talk no more.
We even went when I was trying to transfer over the plates on my car, Kelly, and we went to the place to get the plates registered, and we stood there for almost 2-3 hours. I mean, it was so packed. By the time we got up there at the end of the day, of course, I was overwhelmed with all the noise and everything. I'm getting frustrated. And the poor lady, as soon as I walked up, her computer blew. They had to get employees come over and reset everything. It was awful.
I resemble that remark. One time I went to go get tires. That tire came, the guy was trying to rip me off. Oh. And my dad came to check on me, and I was mad, and the whole computer went down and the lights were going on and off. He says, calm down, Kel.
I believe it because it happens to me all the time, and people always think I'm nuts until they're around me, and then they start seeing it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is awful." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's terrible."
Dowdell says, Kelly, did my roommate, deceased sister, talk to us the other night
Yes.
through electronic voice phenomenon?
Yes, it was her.
Let's see here. Next one is Kim. I keep getting ringing in my ears. I hear my name being called. I hear someone singing in my ear once in a while before I wake and sleep. I heard dogs barking. Well, I don't have any dogs.
I think that she's very aware and she's clairaudient, and she's picking up another lifetime where she lives. She's listening to the land ghost of that era. And the people that lived there before had a dog. And the lady singing in her ear is her grandma.
Wow. Interesting.
On her dad's side. So. And who is it that spoke Yiddish? Somebody spoke Yiddish.
And Maria, coming up from the rear, what do you see happen with Philip and myself? Bless her heart.
Yep. She's in a... You're going to get a conclusion within the next couple months of what's going to happen with that. So you'll get an answer. So that's what I see about that.
Interesting. Anybody else want to add anything? Yeah, put it out there. I'll click on it. So, but when you're doing a reading, does the past lives look like a movie reel to you, or is it like being there in person?
It's like being there in person. You know, it's like really, really strong. You know, it depends on, sometimes the past lives will just come up, or if you're dealing with the present, you're dealing with the present. But sometimes people have such strong past lives, you pick up on all that.
Maria from Norway, what do you see on my past lives?
She was French.
Oh, oui.
Oui. during the Moulin Rouge days. So whatever era, what was that? The late 1800s, the Moulin Rouge? I have no idea, but I see Moulin Rouge.
Oh, let's see here. There you go, Maria. Kemp says, I was told I was once a gypsy.
Absolutely, you were. You were female. You were very beguiling.
And crafty. What did I do in England, Kelly?
You were of the aristocratics. You didn't have a job. But you did a lot of causes back then. So that's what I see.
And Chris says, Kelly, did my mom's roommate and I have a past life experience together? And that's probably why we paired and karmatically tied right now.
Yep, absolutely. You were like Irish, and you were red-haired girls, and you were like scrub maids. And you both used to get in so much trouble.
And Maria says, I feel like I have a Wiccan life. And Nilda says, what was my past life, Kelly Joe?
You were a man, and you lived in the early 1900s, and you were an accountant. And you were a little man. You were only like 5'5", and you wore a bowler hat and a monocle, and you had a mustache.
Interesting.
And in your house, you had an aviary. You know how you have the stained glass or the glass dome
Right.
with birds and orchids and plants, and you were, did a good life for yourself. You were married and you had 4 kids, 2 girls and a boy. 2 boys, I'm sorry, 4 kids. 2 boys and 2 girls, sorry. Blech.
Maria says, when am I going to get a full-time job? I'm a preschool teacher.
Not till the fall, and then you'll get one.
Nilda says, that's interesting. Dowdell says, why can I not tap into my psychic abilities?
Part of you's holding it back. You're very gifted, and part of you's afraid of it. I think you got scared when you were a child, so you're scared of it. But you're very capable because you're like a medium, and you're also very psychic, and you're like empathic. But make sure you say a prayer of protection and protect yourself. So know that.
Chris says, Kelly, do we happen to have more than one past life together other than Ireland? She's an intuitive.
Yes. You also were lovers in one lifetime. She was.
Welcome, Al, to the show. Nice to see your brother.
Hello.
Interesting. And Al, VIP Al, saying hello, Kelly.
Hi, Al. How are you doing?
And yes, this is a safe place. Absolutely. Yeah, Al's very famous. He does a lot of shows, a lot of interactions with Bigfoot and cryptids, UFOs. Yeah, he's big time. Nice to see you, Al.
Well, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah.
He's
got psychic abilities too.
Oh, he's very psychic. He can feel them. He's gonna get bona fide film of Bigfoot.
Oh, I can see Al doing that.
Yeah, I see him getting, and it's not shaky or weird, or there's no dispute about it.
Yeah, Al, when you get that, we'll have a show on it.
So I do see that. And also UFOs.
Very interesting. Yeah, Al's he's got a lot of encounters. He's a big time researcher, investigator up north. So
does he have a show?
He's on a lot of shows.
Yeah,
yes.
he's gonna be on a show again. So I see that. So there you go. I'm not trying to invade you, sir. I just am picking up. All right.
Al says I got that video already. See?
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know who you are.
Marie wants to know, let's see here. Let me X this out. Does Philip have a girl during his dirty chats over the internet?
A real person. Well, I feel like he does cheat. So that's all I'm going to say. And I'm sorry.
Right. So, Virgil wants to know, Al, are you single? He's asking for a friend. I'll let Al answer that one. So, Al's a good guy. He's, I think the world of him. Really is. There's something, I'm being told Maria's guy is into guys. Is that true?
I'm not getting that. But I do get that he messes around a lot.
So, hey, Joanne Stewart, not you, Maria, your guy. I know you're a woman. Hey, Joanne Stewart. For Maria.
Oh dear.
Al says, hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, to the world across the globe. Al is married for 36 years, LOL.
Congrats.
So, Maria, we know you're all woman. We're talking about Phil.
Right.
So, Joanne says, Kelly Joe, do you think my late husband could reincarnate into my grandson that we never met because he died before he was born?
I don't think he reincarnated yet. I don't think he's done it yet.
You know, I've heard claims people said that their grandparents or parents came back as children or grandchildren.
Sometimes they do. They reincarnate real quick.
Very interesting. Interesting.
And
yeah, Kelly and I think he probably has, and I hate to say that. I know you're real worried, Maria. Sorry to hear that. Chris says, Kelly Joe, is our friend's grandson, my grandmother, reincarnated?
Yes.
Wow, Joanne says, because he walks like him, and he has the same as Roy did, just as wild when it comes to features and walking.
Yep. Sense of humor and everything.
Interesting. Welcome, Lauren, to the show. Nice to have you. Good evening for a Tuesday evening.
Hello. And it's amazing. You know, it's not them, but it's the flavor of the soul. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Marie comes in. Kelly, can you say a few things about how many future kids will be like? I'm very curious.
Well, I see a girl and a boy. You might have a late child, you know, like a oopsie. Like, I'm gaining weight. Oh my goodness, I'm in menopause. No, I'm not. I'm triggered. So, but the one boy is all boy. The other boy is really sweet and kind, and he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, and the other one's brown hair, brown eyes, and the girl's a brown-haired beauty. And she knows what she wants, she knows what she don't want, and she's very determined. So there you go.
Interesting. And Al comes in. Kelly Joe, who do you think I have around me all the time?
Your grandfather on your dad's side is with you. And who is it that always wore a fedora? I'm seeing a man with a fedora hat. And there's a man with glasses around you. You're very, very psychic. You're very, very aware. And then great grandma on your mom's side is around you a lot. And she's always cooking biscuits. I smell biscuits. Biscuits. You know, biscuits.
Right. Biscuits. Yeah. Interesting. Kim says, I'd love to know what spirits are around me, Kelly Joe.
You have an uncle his name starts with a J on your mom's side. And then you have a whole bunch of military people. So who is in all the military, you know, like Army, Navy, all airplane. There's somebody that was a fighter pilot. So you got all those, and that was be on your dad's side. So that's what I'm getting. And then you have a light brown and white floppy-eared dog around you too. So there you go.
Maria says, so my heritage is South Slavic, Croatian. Do you see any spirits or guides around me?
Yeah, you got a lady with a babushka. So it's probably your dad's mom. grandma, your grandma.
And Lorna says, what about me? Anything around me?
You have a tall, blonde-haired woman that used to play the piano, and that is on your dad's side. And then you also have a grandmother on your mom's side that's short and busty and had a whole bunch of kids. So that's on your mom's side. So those two people are with you. And then you have a farmer, and that is on your mom's side. So.
And Crafty says, Kelly Joe, anything around me, please?
You have a flaming red-haired Viking man around you. So you have a lot of Nordic people around you. And then that would be on your mom's side, back. You also have some Irish and Welsh on your mom's side. And then on your dad's side, there's more of the dark-haired, brown-eyed, it feels like Welch, but not Welch. And then you also have you do like Canadian people from Canada. So
Maria comes back and says, Kelly Joe, you're right. That was my great grandmother. She was a small Christian woman, dark hair, chubby. Her name was Maria as well. I'm named after her. She died 11 years before I was born.
Well, there you go.
That's Kelly Joe?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's her people's.
It is very interesting. You know, Kelly's accuracy has been always spot on for years. I can tell you stories about what she said to me about tap dancing and everything else, and very interesting. So,
and your grandpa is with you. He's sitting behind you.
Interesting. And Kelly, how do people find you? You can get a hold of you.
You can call me 850. I still don't know my phone number good.
850-481-1813.
Thank you. And that's how you get a hold. That's how you get a hold of me.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw tonight, reach out to Kelly Joe. Her information's down at the bottom at kellyjoe at 1009@gmail.com. She's got her website at kellyjoepsyche.com. Check her out. Because you would be surprised in what you can find out and learn. Ain't that right, Kelly?
Yes. And thank you very much. And it was fun tonight.
And everybody have a great evening and Godspeed. And from coast to coast around the world, we'll catch you on another show. Good night, everybody.
Well, good night.
Bye-bye.